Hello, good people. Welcome to Raw Vegan Rising. My name is Shane Sterling. How are you guys doing today? Thank you for being on this video with me. And you know what? I'm kind of excited. Woohoo, woohoo. The writing is on the wall. We have a vegan future coming down because we can't deny the fact that animal agriculture has caused more and more and more problems globally. So considering the conditions and the state of the planet today, this being March of 2020, and you all know what I'm talking about, this is the time to pay attention to the benefits of a vegan diet. We need to get off of the animal-based foods and onto the whole plant-based foods. This cleans our terrain. So first of all, we're not even susceptible. We're not even going to be able to attract these types of viruses and situations in our body because we're eating clean foods. When we eat the acid mucus-forming foods, denatured foods, animal products, grains, cooked starches, this is going to create an acid terrain, a mucus terrain for viruses to take hold. So if there was ever a time in history to experiment with a whole food plant-based diet, this is it. If there was ever a time in history to experiment with a raw living foods diet, this is it. So in order to support you, I wanted to talk about the top 5 raw vegan mistakes.
Is this what you want now? Feels like you're looking for something better.
Okay, number 1, following someone else's plan. We have to take the power back. We are our own health coach. We are our own healer. We are our own shaman and mystic and sage. We have the knowledge within us, in our minds, in our hearts, and our connection to the divine. We have the answers. When we go outside of ourselves, we give our power away. When we ask a doctor or a naturopath or a nutritionist what they think, we're only getting answers as good as their filters on life. And you know what? Most people are not paying attention, and most people are not focused on accelerating their lifestyle to the highest level possible for global awakening and ascension and spiritual mastery and just mastery of ourselves. So we're going to get, less than qualified answers coming from other people. We have to qualify the answers by going inside. So one of the biggest mistakes that we can possibly make as we embark on a raw vegan journey to improve our health and to become empowered is to put our power outside of ourselves. We've got to hold on to that power, dig deep, reflect inward. I know you guys can do it because the power is within you. If you're not familiar with your inner terrain and your inner dialogues, you've got to go inside. You've got to ask your higher self, ask the universe for what you need. We all manifest our reality through our minds and through our vibrations and through our attraction points, but we forget this. We're living in a world that's highly distracting with the media and constantly bombarded by fear tactics and chaos tactics coming from our modern world, but it's turning inward, quieting our mind, listening to the wisdom within where we get the answers. So if we're embarking on a raw vegan diet, or transitioning to a whole food plant-based diet, trying to get healthy, trying to make the right choices in our life, we have to listen to our intuition and develop our own internal guidance system that gives us those answers from within. We know when we need to do a detox or a cleanse. We know how many calories we need to eat, what the amounts of fats and proteins and carbohydrates we need to eat. And if we're listening to the narratives coming from society, we're going to be susceptible to the wrong information, susceptible to taking on entire ideologies and belief systems that lead us down the wrong path and can for years. Like, the carnivore diet heals, or, the bodybuilding diet heals. The worst health I ever got into in my life was when I listened to the bodybuilding diet saying we need to eat chicken and drink whey protein and keep our carbohydrates low to be low body fat. I did that for some years and it messed me up the worst I ever have been messed up. It's led me to a raw vegan diet to heal all of the health problems that I got from listening to conventional wisdom, to listening to medical science, to listening to the studies of how to grow muscle and be healthy. So we have to listen to ourselves. It's critical. So number 1, following someone else's plan is going to help you fail for sure. Okay, number 2 is you're unwilling to surrender your fears. When we step onto a healing journey, again, we have to go inward. We have to find the shadow part of ourself and shed light on it and uncover it. Because if we are addicted to food, if we are overweight, if we have health conditions, it's because some part of us is unconscious. Some part of us is not wanting that shadow to come out. We are protecting our shadow. We're protecting our pain. We're protecting our trauma. So in order to become empowered with our health, we have to put it all kind of out on the table. We have to acknowledge our traumas. The good thing, though, is that we get to bring it along. It's not like we get to say, oh, well, I've moved past my trauma, or I've, healed myself to where now I'm better and that's a past part of myself. No, it's the opposite. It's that our pain and our traumas and our struggles that have led us to eating bad food and having a detrimental lifestyle, those are the things that are our story. Those are the things that empower us with who we are now today and how we can help others. So you never want to make the mistake that the pain and the struggle that you've experienced in the past is something to be ashamed of. It's the opposite. It's something you need to embrace, embody, bring along. Make it part of your story. Don't be ashamed, but bring it and transmute it into the higher resonance. So part of being unwilling to surrender our fears is unwilling to do that type of shadow work. And it's one of the biggest reasons why we're not going to succeed on changing our health, getting onto raw foods, improving our diet and lifestyle. Because as long as we hold on and protect the things that harm us, which is really our own mind and our own internal dialogue, then we're never going to be able to have that breakthrough. Okay, see, we need to trust ourselves and we need to be willing to put our fears on the altar of life and say, I surrender this to my higher power. I surrender my fears and let go. Also, during the detoxification process, we need to let go. We need to go into the unknown. We need to fall off the cliff backwards and know that God, Mother Nature, the divine dynamic force of the universe is going to be there to catch us, okay? We're not alone in this. We have divine guidance. We just need to tune in to where that guidance is coming from and trust the process. If you want to become a raw vegan, you're going to have to surrender your fears, okay? You're going to have to do some shadow work, and it's okay. There's support for that. For one, right here on this video, I can support you with your shadow work process. All right. Okay, number 3 is kind of a simple one. Thinking that you have to make recipes to be a raw vegan. You don't have to make recipes to be a raw vegan. In fact, our body really loves mono meals when we can eat just one food at a time. In fact, if you think about it, if you go back in time to when we were just more natural and more like animals, we would eat one food at a time. And that's how our biology has adapted. And boy, it is the most health-giving thing, a fruit fast. Just eating one food at a time can give so much vitality to our body. And we need to use that as we transition to a healthier diet and lifestyle, simplifying things, taking out the complicated recipes, taking out the complications in our mind, making us think, well, I can't go raw vegan because I don't have the recipes. I don't have all the ingredients. I don't know how to cook raw vegan. Well, the truth is that you just eat whole raw food as it comes from Mother Nature. Make a salad, eat a meal of fruit. And even though that might not feel satisfying in the beginning, it is literally the way you get to the other side, because by just staying with it and giving it time, your body will start to adapt, and then not only adapt, but thrive to the highest level possible. Fruit mono meals are so health-giving, and nothing could clean our terrain better to keep us free from microorganisms and bacteria and threats from the outside world than to have a clean terrain from fruit mono meals and salads. You know what I ate yesterday, for instance? I had a smoothie in the morning with concentrated green powder for protein, a fruit smoothie. And then I worked all day, and then I had a big salad for dinner. And that simplicity right there creates so much vitality in the body. So we don't need to overcomplicate it. We don't need to overthink it. We don't need to make it like our cooked food diets, very complicated. No, it's the opposite. We need to put recipes off the table. If you enjoy preparing recipes, great. Go for it. Do it. But I think that one of the secrets to success as a raw vegan is putting down all that complication and realizing we can thrive on the simplest of simple, which is just mono meals and salads, handfuls of nuts and seeds. We don't need to make it into anything. We just need to eat whole, raw, pure food. Okay, number 4 is impatience with your transition. Everybody thinks that this transition is going to happen overnight or within a couple months. I get messages from people every single day on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and email every single day. People saying, is this going to work? I've been raw vegan for 2 months and I still have this and I still have that. And my digestion is still struggling. If I stick it out, is it going to work? Absolutely. So one of the biggest problems and reason we're going to fail on our attempt to get empowered with our health is because we don't realize how much time it actually takes. We need to invest. Do you think a lifetime of poor diet and lifestyle, the lifestyle you've already been living all these years, all these decades, is going to be undone in 2 months? No, it takes 6 months, a year, 2 years. It takes rotations around the sun to realize what the cycles are like, what the patterns are like, and to give our body a full reset takes time. So I can't encourage you enough when you embark on your raw vegan journey to be patient with the transition process. If you're going to do a juice fast, you might have to do a juice fast for 40 days or 60 days. If you're going to transition your gut microbiome to being able to eat fruit monomeals and big salads without any digestion issues, this could take 6 months. This could take a year of time. If you're going to heal chronic degenerative conditions like eczema or psoriasis or fibromyalgia, some form of inflammation or autoimmune disease, this is going to take time. You need to eat pure, raw, living foods for an extended period of time. It's not going to happen quick. If you get impatient and you start telling yourselves all these stories in your head, talking yourself down, having your ego talk you out of what you need the most, you're never going to make it. You need to hold the vision and just be patient and hold that vision day in and day out, regardless of the circumstance. The vision is, I want to be healthy. I want to thrive. I want to be at the top of my game as a raw vegan. The circumstances are, I have digestion issues. I have skin issues. I don't feel well. I'm detoxing. I'm sneezing and coughing and have fever today. Those are the circumstances. If you let that stop you, you're going to fall off. You're never going to succeed. But if you hold that vision, well, I'm going to be a successful raw vegan. It doesn't matter how much my struggles are holding me back today because my vision is pulling me forward. Now that's how you get there. Okay, so we can't be impatient with the healing process. We can't be impatient with the detoxification process. And we can't be impatient with the transition of our gut microbiome and our hydrochloric acid to be able to digest robust amounts of raw food. Okay, number 5 is unaware of how much personal transformation is actually required. As we venture up the mountain to up-level our life in anything we do, whether it's health, money, or love, we actually have to go through a personal transformation process to become the person that has the different results. The results we have today, right now, are the results from who we are being. So if you want different results in life, you have to be different. You have to act and embody a different way of looking at the life, a different belief system, a different ideology, showing up and acting different. Now, this isn't an all at once thing. This is something that happens over time. It's through personal development work, shadow work, going in, shedding light on the fears and the emotional trauma and pain, building our self-esteem, bringing our traumas along with us, embodying the truth within us, putting impatience aside, holding that vision and realizing that the circumstances aren't going to sway me. All of this takes so much time. All of this is huge personal transformation work. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been working on being self-employed my whole life. Well, since my early 20s. And I'm 47 now. And one thing I will tell you as an entrepreneur who goes from creating businesses, building businesses, losing businesses, going into debt, getting out of debt, all of these things requires that I become really in tune with who I am. Personal development work, realizing that, I have shame, I have grief, I have guilt, I have low resonating human emotions like everybody, but I strive to bring myself into courage and acceptance and spiritual focus, spirituality and love and happiness and unity. These types of qualities are not developed overnight, and it's very easy to underestimate the need of personal transformation. If we want to get healthy as a raw vegan, it takes immense personal transformation. So we need help on this journey. We need support to get massive transformation in our life, because if we're living with communities, family, friends, and work environments that influence us negatively, how are we going to ever hold that vision? We're not. We're going to be influenced by the poo-pooers and the naysayers around us. So to truly up-level our life and go through the levels of personal transformation necessary to become a raw vegan and to improve our life, we need to have positive-minded people influencing our mind, okay? So we can't rely on our default crab bucket in life to do that. We have to make intentional choices to have the people we want influencing our mind. So that's why I've created Raw Vegan Heroes. It's my group coaching membership, because in that membership, you have amazing positive thinking raw vegans, empowered people in their health. People have taken the step on their journey to empower themselves. Those are the people influencing your mind if you're part of that community. And then you get that support. You get the reminder that, hey, my vision is worth it. So I highly encourage you to up-level your life and to get the results, to be a raw vegan, get the support. And Raw Vegan Heroes, my group coaching membership, is an incredible way to do that. And not only that, but you get the cross-section of all the amazing information that people hold. If you ask a question in Raw Vegan Heroes, for instance, you're going to get responses from, there's currently 75 people in the group. You're going to get responses from 75 people, talking about following someone else's plan. We don't want one nutritionist or one naturopath or one doctor telling us the truth. We need to devise that truth for ourselves. If we pool a group like Raw Vegan Heroes, we're going to get all this amazing feedback, and then we can discern the truth for ourselves. Do you see the power of healing through community? Through having community be part of how we get empowered? So every week I do a 1-hour live Q&A call into Raw Vegan Heroes, okay? Members can show up on the live calls and get their questions answered. We can interact. You can get coaching from me. It's actually a lot of fun. And I love doing those live calls. There's 4 hours of content streamed into that group every month. So the combination of the community support, the combination of the mindset support, the influence of your mind, plus all of the coaching and having all of your questions answered, you can do this. This is the time in history that we have to act, okay? This is the time. There's no more time to procrastinate. There's no more time to think that, I'll do that in the future. Look at the world around us. We're being called to up-level to a new dimension, to take on a whole new paradigm of living. And, we don't have to be afraid of it. We just have to take an action toward it, and we'll be surprised at how amazing it is. Look at me, 100% raw vegan. I don't need animal products. I don't need cooked food. I'm not susceptible to viruses and bacterias and infections and colds and flus. I'm just not. And you don't have to be either. Okay, so much love to you. Blessings. I will see you guys in the next one.
Is this what you want now? Feels like you're looking for something better.